Hey everyone, my name is Kirk Pilon, and I chose to do my research paper on the negative impact that technology has on children. Now, in my 805 class this summer, I chose to research how to integrate cell phones into a classroom effectively. I teach in a grade 6 to 12 school, and cell phones are a major issue with us. Kids are constantly Snapchatting and using VPNs to bypass the safeguards that have been put in place by our division on our network. For this course, I felt that it was necessary for me to delve a little deeper and focus on the impact that technology has on kids at a young age. When we go out to a mall, for example, we see kids that are constantly on their parents' phones and tablets, and I wanted to investigate how it's impacting them negatively. Now, this paper is developed into 5 major parts that include the effects of mental health, the technology as an addiction, the impact on physical health, the effects that it has on social skills, and finally, my recommendations from the findings that I have. The mental and emotional health in children seems to be declining rapidly. More and more children are diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Now, although there are many other factors that are to be considered when talking about this, technology plays a huge role. Generation Z, or iGen, is the generation that was born between 1995 and 2012. This cohort is the internet generation and is the first generation to spend their entire youth surrounded by smartphones. In Twang's research, she found that this generation, as compared to millennials and Gen X's, are becoming introverts because of the technology around them. This suggests that the way that iGens make human connections is through their smartphones. With the convenience of smartphones and being able to access social media at any time, children are staying up later, which leads to them becoming deprived of sleep. Now, this sleep deprivation is contributing negatively to their emotional and mental health. Schools, especially middle years and high school programs, have seen an influx of youth with anxiety and depression because of sleep deprivation and online interactions. In the past 10 years, the amount of suicides for 10 to 12-year-olds has doubled. Although the overuse of technology is commonly referred to as an addiction, I found that the constant use of technology is in fact not an addiction, but instead an impulse control disorder, similar to that of a gambling disorder. The use of technology gives a sense of euphoria and allows a user to take a break from reality. Up until recently, theories of addiction are increasingly moving away from a focus on the activity or the substance as a causal factor, and instead suggesting that addiction concerns with the interaction between the individual, their culture, and their environment. This suggests that addiction does not concern a substance directly, but instead the user. This shift in mentality is slowly developing as more research is being conducted to accommodate the topic of technology. I found research that suggests a lack of sleep due to mobile phones is a large contributor to the problems in mental and emotional health. Now, in regards to physical health, the increased usage of advanced technology has resulted in physically sedentary society with a sensory stimuli consisting of high frequency, duration, and intensity. Because of these lacks of physical and sensory stimuli, children are not able to appropriately develop the gross motor skills that they would normally attain through play. Consequently, occupational therapists are noticing that fine motor skills and dexterity are lacking in children as they enter kindergarten. Children are not able to create a pincer grip because they have only used touchscreen technology as they grew up. Now, it's easier to give a child an iPad than encouraging them to do muscle building play, such as building blocks, cutting and sticking, or pulling toys or ropes. Now, when only giving children mobile touchscreen technology to play with, it can prevent those children from developing the dexterity that is required to manipulate fine objects. When talking about social skills and regards to Vygotsky's socio-cultural approach to how children learn, We are social beings and must learn through socialization before other learning can commence. Now, due to numerous variables such as work and television, parents now spend 40% less time with their children than they did in the 1970s. Children are not receiving the socialization that they need at an early age to develop appropriately, and because of this, they're lacking the social skills to interact with their peers in a healthy manner. A study conducted by Twang in 2018 found that adolescents who spend more time on electronic communication and screens such as social media, texting, electronic games, and internet were less happy and less satisfied with their lives and had a lower self-esteem, especially amongst 8th and 10th graders. Now, I know that focuses on the upper middle and high school students. This also can be applied to young children as well. The recommendations that I've made in my paper talk about students' brains and how they're still developing. They are beginning to form a reliance on this technology similar to that of a gambling disorder. Now, in order for this trend to diminish, school divisions, teachers, and administrators need to work together to monitor and mandate technology usage and show students the appropriate time and place in which we can use technology without forming a reliance on certain devices and their applications. When talking about the core learnings from the journaling, I found that one core learning that I felt was the most prominent was the emergence of connectivism. Now, it's been debated that connectivism is or is not a learning theory. However, I believe that connectivism it's modern, right? It connects technology, it connects knowledge, and allows us to create networks to interact and learn, to improve on ourselves and how children learn and apply themselves. In a sense, it builds on constructivism and socialization, where people are interacting with each other in order to learn. And I feel that connectivism is really going to be the next big thing in education. Another major finding that I found in the journaling was the ETAD model and using design thinking to have kids learn. Now, I think it's a brilliant way to have kids interact and problem solve. I've been piloting the robotics curriculum here in Saskatchewan for my school division, for my school, and next year when I reteach it, I want to implement that model where students are able to talk to their peers from other classes and find a problem. Their job will be to use the 3D printer and to create prototypes and allow their clients to be involved in the problem-solving process. As I reflect back on the videos that were shown to us, that were created by Dr. Schwer, I really bring myself back to a statement that he said about knowledge anxiety. Now, he talked about how people go into a room and not understanding and having a fear of sharing because what I know is not as much as what somebody else would know. And I think that was one of the most insightful things to hear from a professional in academia to really apply to myself. In the discussions, I understand that there's a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge and from people from diverse backgrounds and diverse educational experiences. And for somebody coming in, fourth year teaching, first year of master's, I feel that I don't have much to contribute. I feel that being a fly on the wall is one of the most beneficial things for me at the time, because it allows me to hear the diverse opinions and hear the different experiences that everyone shares. That being said, it's been an incredible experience with you guys, this year-long journey that we've had, and I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys in the summer. We'll see you then.